Take a moment right now and look at the people around you, not with judgment, just with honest observation. You will notice that most of them are being carried by life rather than directing it. They complain constantly about their job, their circumstances, their relationships, their luck. They wake up in the same frustration, repeat the same arguments, chase the same hollow pleasures, and fall asleep with the same quiet sense that something is missing. Every single day, they return to the same cycle, a little older, a little more tired, and a little more certain that this is simply how life is. But then there is a different group, a small one, quiet, almost invisible at first glance. They do not shout about their goals or broadcast their hustle. They do not seek validation from the crowd or wait for someone to hand them permission. They move differently, not faster necessarily, but with a depth and direction that most people never develop. While the world reacts, they respond. While the world consumes, they create. While the world drifts, they build. These people belong to the 1%, not the financial 1%, though many of them get there eventually. The psychological 1%, the ones who have developed a mental operating system that most people do not even know exists. And here is the question that most people never think to ask. Is this something you are born with? Is it reserved for the gifted, the privileged, the lucky few who somehow stumbled into the right circumstances? The answer, and this is the most important thing you will hear today, is absolutely not. This is a learnable system, a trainable set of mental habits, a way of thinking that can be developed, practiced, and applied to every single area of your life. Carl Jung spent his entire career studying the architecture of the human mind, and what he found was this: most people are sleepwalking through their own existence, driven by unconscious patterns they have never examined. But the moment you begin to examine them, the moment you decide to take conscious control of your inner world, everything changes. Today, I am going to walk you through the 9 core principles that separate the 1% mindset from everyone else. This is not a motivational speech. This is not a list of productivity hacks or weekend affirmations. This is an invitation to a mental reconstruction, a fundamental shift in the way you think, decide, and move through the world. If you are ready, let us begin. We live in the most information-saturated moment in human history. Every second of every day, an endless stream of opinions, headlines, outrage, and entertainment is flowing directly into your mind. Social media feeds engineered to trigger your dopamine. News cycles designed not to inform you, but to keep you anxious and clicking. Notifications pulling your attention in 20 different directions before you have even finished your morning coffee. The result? Most people's minds have become a dumping ground for other people's thoughts, other people's fears, and other people's dramas. In the middle of all that digital fog, hearing your own voice, forming your own genuine perspective, becomes almost impossible. The 99% become a part of the noise. They talk about what everyone is talking about. They feel outraged about what they have been told to feel outraged about. They desire what they have been shown to desire. They do not think, they echo, and they do not even realize it, because the noise is so constant, so all-encompassing, that it has simply become the background of their entire lives. The 1% mindset does something radically different. It deliberately steps back from the flood, not to disconnect from the world, that is not the goal, but to become intentional about what is allowed inside. Think of it like a master craftsman's workshop. A serious craftsman does not let just anything through the door. Only the finest materials, the most useful tools, the things that actually serve the work. Everything else stays outside. The 1% mind operates the same way. It curates its inputs. It decides, consciously, deliberately, what deserves mental real estate and what does not. It is guided by an internal compass rather than the roar of external approval. Because it understands something the 99% never stop to consider. The road that everyone is rushing down usually leads somewhere ordinary. The real opportunities, the unexpected ones, the transformative ones, are hidden in the quiet paths that the crowd has not bothered to look at. Think of your mind as a garden. If you never pull the weeds, they will eventually take over every inch of ground. The valuable plants, your original ideas, your clarity, your deepest convictions, will have no room to grow. Silencing the noise is not about building walls. It is about opening space. Space for your own thoughts. Space for the kind of deep, undistracted reflection that almost no one in the modern world gives themselves permission to do. Start today. Choose what you let in, because what fills your mind shapes your world. Almost everyone you know sets goals. Big ones, bold ones, the kind that sound impressive when you say them out loud. Write a book, launch a business, get in the best shape of your life, build financial freedom. And almost everyone follows the same invisible script. They visualize the destination, feel a rush of motivation, take a few steps toward it, and then, when the reality of how long and difficult the road actually is begins to sink in, they stop. Because their motivation was built on desire for the result, and desire fades. Desire is not an engine, it is a spark, and sparks burn out. The 1% mindset is built on something far more durable. They do not live for outcomes, they live for systems. They do not wait for the day when everything is finally achieved. They fall in love with the daily, unglamorous, repetitive practice of doing the work. Not the destination, but the discipline itself. Think about the master woodworkers of early America, the craftsmen who built the furniture, the ships, the structures that shaped a nation. A true master did not sit down each morning dreaming about the masterpiece he would one day create. He picked up his tools and performed the same precise, patient motions hundreds of times with the same careful attention. The masterpiece was never the goal. It was the byproduct. What made him a master was not a single brilliant creation. It was the system he had practiced across thousands of days. That is the power of the 1% mindset.
They do not wait for inspiration. They do not wait for the perfect mood, the perfect moment, the perfect conditions. Whether they feel like it or not, the system runs. Want to write? They write 1 page every single day. Want to get healthier? They move their body for 10 minutes no matter what. Not because 10 minutes changes everything in an instant, but because they understand something deeper. They know that great outcomes are not the product of dramatic leaps. They are the product of small, consistent actions that compound quietly over time. The system becomes your compass when your emotions try to lead you off course. When you are exhausted, when you are discouraged, when doubt creeps in at 2 in the morning and whispers that none of this is worth it, the system tells you exactly what to do. It removes the decision. It removes the negotiation. It simply runs. Build your system. Forget the outcome. Take today's small step. Tomorrow, take it again. And 1 year from now, when you look back at how far you have traveled, you will not be able to believe that those small, quiet, unremarkable daily actions brought you here. Drop 333. My system is stronger than my excuses. In the comments right now. Every single one of us carries a finite reserve of emotional energy. Think of it as capital, like money in a bank account. You have a certain amount available each day, and where you spend that capital determines the quality of your life more directly than almost any other factor. The 99% bleed this capital on things that offer no return. A confrontation in traffic, an argument in a comment section, a passive-aggressive remark from a coworker, a cutting comment from someone who does not matter. They spend the entire day reacting, burning through their emotional reserves on situations they cannot control, people who are not worth the energy, and conflicts that will mean nothing in 6 months. And by the time evening comes and they are faced with the things that actually matter, their relationships, their real work, their deepest aspirations, they have nothing left. The 1% mindset operates like a sophisticated investor. It knows exactly which emotions and reactions deserve this precious capital and which do not. They are not calm
because they feel nothing. They are calm because they have learned to be the masters of what they feel rather than the servants of it. When someone speaks to them with contempt or hostility, they do not reach for a matching reaction. They see it for what it is, a reflection of that person's own unresolved inner conflict, a projection, something that belongs entirely to the other person and has nothing to do with them. So they do not engage. They do not waste the energy. They simply keep moving toward their work, their values, their path. Because they understand something that most people never learn. The most powerful response to anyone who has wronged you is not retaliation. It is an extraordinary life and an unshakable inner peace. That is the kind of victory no one can take from you. Guard your emotional capital. Pull back from the arguments that drain you without feeding you. Walk away from the people and situations that leave you smaller than you arrived. Invest your energy in the things that build you, the work that challenges you, the relationships that restore you, the habits that strengthen you. And remember this: the decision made in the center of anger almost always becomes tomorrow's regret. The decision made from a place of stillness and clarity, that is wisdom. If you have found this kind of thinking valuable, share this video with someone in your